All right, so I think we can all agree that words are pretty important, but how often do you stop and think about the words that you're using and if they're appropriate for the setting? I really think it's important that you stop and realize what words you're saying and how they're appropriate for the setting that you're in. For example, if you were a doctor, perhaps, or working in the healthcare industry, you would likely speak very different and use much different words than you would with someone like a patient or a patient's family. Same thing when you think about your group of friends. When you're speaking with your friends, do your words or your word choices, are they different than if you were perhaps in a work environment or even perhaps speaking with your professor? So again, the words we choose are really important, and you want to make sure that the words you're choosing are appropriate for the people that you're talking to. So in conjunction with words is listening, and you guys have all heard it before. Listening is incredibly important. But one thing I like to do when I'm listening and listening in a group setting is use the 80-20 rule. For me, what that is in a group, I'm listening 80% of the time and really only speaking 20% of the time. When I am speaking, what I'm doing is I'm making sure that I am expressing myself to understand the goals, understand the purpose of the group, and perhaps it's to ask some clarifying questions or drive the group forward. But again, I find that keeping my ears open and actively listening 80% of the time will ensure that I'm understanding what the group's goals are and that we're progressing forward. Now let's talk about nonverbals. I think we've all heard or at least have been exposed to the idea that you say more with your body than you do with your words. Now, do you often think about how your body language matches your words? For example, if I say, "Great job," you probably don't think that you're doing a very great job. But if I change my nonverbals and deliver the message like, "Great job," now my meaning and my nonverbal body language match. So again, the next time you're in a group setting, I really encourage you to be aware of your nonverbal cues. Are they matching up? Do they support the words that you're saying? So hopefully they do, and this will ensure that you're communicating clearly with your group and that you're all working together to exceed expectations. I want to wrap it up by saying that all three of these concepts are interdependent. So you can have strong nonverbal skills, but if they're not supported with excellent listening and correct word choice, then you will still be an ineffective communicator. We're all constantly working to improve our communication skills. I personally am constantly adjusting and learning more to improve. So I encourage you to seek out feedback on your word choices, your nonverbals, and your listening abilities. That way you can continually work to improve your personal skills and ensure that you and your group are effective in their goals.